Ancelotti is here. That's great news for everybody. He didn't travel with the Real team yesterday because of COVID issues. And obviously very important to the team. He coaches, but also much admired and indeed loved from his time at Chelsea with that stint in charge at Stamford Bridge a decade or so ago. But he remains popular. The Chelsea players take a knee, but the majority of stand tall. That's individual choice, but it's going to be a team effort now. Which of these two sides are going to make the semi-final? The second leg is not far away. That's next Tuesday, and we're underway. As I say, it's been very wet here. The thunder and lightning around southwest London. Yep, Luis James on the ball here, back in the side. His pace will be handy against Mendy and Vinicius. Here's Mason Mount with an early cross. Chelsea with almost an early chance. Yeah, Pulisic very nearly getting a touch on it. Really teasing ball into the box though. Tuchel talking about playing with a physical intensity, really high tempo out there. Well, last season in the semi-final, this was the second leg, the home game, but they had come back with a 1-1 draw from Madrid. In fact, Chelsea should have really put a tie to bed in that first game. But they certainly saw off the Spanish giants in the second leg through a lot of energy. Tuchel, of course, had taken over by then, having came in the second half of last season, but what an impact he had. Here's Mount. Pulisic. Job for Cesar Azpilicueta on that left-hand side. He has done it before, and he's Argentine man, captain of course, and he's running and blowing off. He scored from about that distance against Brentford, didn't he? An absolute pile driver. They gave Chelsea a flattering 1-0 lead, and was pretty soon wiped out. They left here, the home team, with their tails between their legs. But a year ago, they had suffered something similar, losing 5-2, a rare home defeat to West Bromwich Albion, who ended up being relegated. So maybe it's not the worst omen, because they went on from that to do well enough in the Premier League and, of course, win the Champions League. Ageless Luka Modric. He was magnificent against PSG, wasn't he? In that second leg. Talk about mid-30 players as Benzema and Modric, as fine as they come, an example. Yeah, Toni Kroos is 32, Casemiro 30. They're not a young side by any means, but they are very experienced, and they have a wily fox of a coach in Carlo Ancelotti. And here's N'Golo Kanté. Jorginho has had to endure the disappointment of Italy failing to qualify for the World Cup, even though just a few months ago they were crowned champions of Europe. Wonderful work from Vinicius Junior, who's been the only other player apart from Benzema who's really been a regular goal scorer. He's up to 17 for the season. Courtois getting a nice welcome back to Stamford Bridge. By Casemiro, he can take it on, the Brazilian here. Benzema already showing signs of dropping deep to get on the ball. Trying to get Vinicius Junior in a position where he can get at Andreas Christensen in behind the wing-back Reece James. Mendy, Casemiro. That's Eder Militao giving Edouard Mendy a little bit of work to do. He probably could have let it go behind for a goal kick. It'd be interesting to see how adventurous nervous his team is, especially in this first half. I've never seen them so negative, really, as in that first half in Paris. Hardly got ahead of the own half. Okay, I think they've already done a bit more than they have pressing than they did in that first half already here in the first few minutes at Stamford Bridge. It's lovely play, and maybe Tuchel might be thinking it'll be as it was in Paris. But they're called out here with numbers forward, and Kai Havertz trying to work a shooting chance for himself. Alaba does well there. He didn't commit himself. He makes such good runs. Kai Havertz, he really does. He's adopted that central role now for a good few weeks instead of Lukaku, and he's doing a fine job. But Alaba using all of his experience. Experience that now amounts to 100 games in this competition. Most of them, of course, with Bayern Munich. His defensive partner is Eder Militao. Here's Kroos. Awkward for Thiago Silva, but he knew where Rudiger was. That's quite a high press from Real Madrid here. As if they're determined to make some early statements and stop Chelsea setting the agenda as they would love to do. Yeah, I see them as two fairly evenly matched sides, actually. Over two legs, it's difficult to call a winner. Chelsea third in England's Premier League. Real Madrid on the way to reclaiming the La Liga title. Should be amazing for Ancelotti, who's won the league in Germany, Italy, France, and here in England. Add Spain to that list, I think that would be a unique achievement in the coaching world. Dani Carvajal, Toni Kroos. He's a handful for this. Yes, it's going to be a key area of the pitch, I think, down this left flank. Yes, and they're more attackingly balanced with Ferland Mendy rather than Nacho to fill in for the suspended left back. Going against Paris. Militao didn't do Toni Kroos any favours with his pass, and he just has to protect the ball, the German. Which he did. Through the foul from Conte. Distributing in quickly, trying to get Chelsea onto the front foot, but it hasn't been easy so far. Just that one breakaway for Havertz. And the very, very early cross from Mason Mount that nearly found Pulisic. Got to be careful, Eder Militao, he's on a yellow card. Another one tonight would see him missing the second leg. Well, I was on about Thomas Tuchel talking about being physical, aggressive. It's Real Madrid that have started in that frame of mind, getting close to those Chelsea players, squeezing the ball quickly. Both clubs knocked out French opposition to reach this quarter-final. Chelsea accounting for Lille, as we mentioned a couple of times, Real producing that amazing comeback against PSG. Seemed to have the tie locked up at half-time in the second leg. The France international against them did for them with Karim Benzema. Nice touch by Havertz. He's peeled away, but he actually didn't find it. As you say, Alan, a really brisk beginning here, and the rain playing a part, slicking up the surface. In goes Christensen. That's the second time he's come through the back of Vinicius Junior. You never quite know
most legs are going to go. Sometimes two teams can stand off each other, but no suggestion of that here.
Yeah, we were starting to analyse the lack of the away goals rule. It's been abolished now for this stage of this competition. Here's Vinicius Junior, and in watching Real Madrid in Paris, it looked like that might have been factored in the way that they played such a defensive game. And watching Atletico Madrid against Manchester City last night in that quarter-final, you might say again, going for a away goal was not really worth the extra effort. But this would have been an away goal for sure.
Yeah, kept that down. No touch, no save. It was a miss.
Conversely, Liverpool in Portugal last night went at the game right from the off and came away with a 3-1 victory at the home of Benfica. Casemiro. Modric into Benzema again. Casemiro. Pulisic can't keep it. Casemiro sorted that. Chelsea fans wanted a free kick. They're not going to get one. And there's a slip here by Eder Militao. And is that card going to come out? Which is bad news for Real Madrid. Saying it's only his second offence, but it was one that really diffused a situation of some potential here.
Once the defender makes a mistake like that, he's desperate to make amends, whether it's getting the ball or fouling your man. On this occasion, he just makes sure he gets his body in the way. It's a definite foul.
There you go. Confirmation he won't be playing in the second leg. But it was his own fault. His poor touch. A slightly desperate measure, and there can be no complaint about the card. But what about the free kick?
Well, it's worth a shot here, you'd imagine.
On a wet night. Courtois, as you said earlier, Alan, in excellent form, probably some of the best form of his career. He might be called upon. Certainly Reece James has got it in his locker. He's eyeing up the angle. And there he goes, and it's parried away by Courtois. Good contact from the goalkeeper, well out of harm's way.
Yeah, worth the shot. If possible, it's quite nice just to try and bounce one in front of the keeper in these conditions, but that's not easy.
Christensen. James having to play on the retreat, and it breaks for Vinicius Junior again. Mendy's kept pace with him through the middle. Benzema from the wider position, but the young forward only had eyes for perhaps making up for the miss from a few minutes ago.
Well, Thiago Silva, the wily old defender, he was never going to allow him to cut inside again onto his right foot. It was brilliant from the Brazilian.
Well, they are international teammates at different ends of their careers. He read the movement of a player who scored a goal recently for Brazil against Chile in the recent round of matches. First for his country. Havertz. Pulisic looking for contact. Chelsea with enough players forward to mount a press.
Militao struggling.
He's really struggling. After the insult of the suspension to come, an injury to dig in the ribs. So it might be just below the hip bone, and bang on the hip bone can really slow you down. It hasn't been the best of starts
sure he did get a little elbow in there. I'm sure he'll be okay. He's a top defender, but never hurts a little break in play to try and deny the home side a bit of momentum.
Tuchel and Ancelotti have crossed swords before. Most recently, Chelsea against Everton last season before Ancelotti left to go back to Madrid. That could be a yellow card because it did look intentional from Rudiger.
The ref's not falling for that one.
Still seems to be some question marks about Rudiger's future, and Christensen as well. But Chelsea in this situation of some uncertainty because of the sanctions for the current owner and the fact that the government are trying to orchestrate a sale of the club. Bids being put forward, being dissected, forensically analysed, of course, after 19 years of pretty much sustained success under Roman Abramovich. Alaba. Courtois again getting the treatment from the boys that are booing him. Jorginho. James, Havertz, preferred again to Romelu Lukaku. His return for a second stint with Chelsea hasn't been what either the club or the player hoped for. Thiago Silva, Rudiger. In towards Mason Mount, who did get between two defenders. It wasn't the most convincing header at goal.
It wasn't, but you wouldn't have expected him to get his head to this. It was a loopy ball, and between them, Mendy and Alaba couldn't take charge.
Chelsea, not only the European champions, of course, but the winners of the Club World Cup. And Kai Havertz again getting a decisive goal. Alaba, he wasn't too happy with what was not available in front of him. An intriguing first 20 minutes, Alan.
Yep. One of those games just got to keep your eye on. There's been threats at both ends. Benzema saying chase that again to Vinicius Junior. Benzema coming in and scoring again. What a season he's having. What a great goal for Real Madrid. King Karim. Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 1 in the 21st minute. Well, they're two star men, Vinicius and Benzema. How lethal is that fella in the box, around the box? He's enjoying the time of his life at 34. But this was always going to be a key area of the pitch. Could Vinicius get joy? He's already had one golden chance this time. His provider. What a pick out that is. But having said that, still an awful lot of work to do for the Frenchman. He makes it look easy, Benzema here. He's a good 12 yards out. But he's beaten Mendy fairly easily with that header. Absolutely brilliant from him. His purple patch continues. An extraordinary header. And Thomas Tuchel knew the threat, but his team couldn't deal with it.
Piasek. Stopped fairly enough by Casemiro. Benzema's everywhere. Kroos caught from behind. Chelsea need to keep their composure here, not go chasing situations, giving away unnecessary free kicks. On the back of what happened here on Saturday, going behind again for Tuchel and his players. It's not been a season in which they could be accused of lacking confidence, but this is the business end of it. No time to be making mistakes. Alaba. Casemiro. Again, Modric finding space. Valverde, Vinicius making a run in from the opposite flank, and Benzema's there. Goal! Can you believe this? A top player at the very top of his game. Everything he touches turns to goals, and Real Madrid lead Chelsea by 2. Benzema headers to 0.
Well, 2 magnificent assists, 2 wonderful headers. This time Luka Modric with the first time ball into his centre forward, and there was never any doubt, was there? It's absolutely brilliant from Real Madrid, and in particular Modric and that fella, that number 9. He's a master at pulling off his man and finding space in the box and providing the finishing touch, and that was a silky one to say the least. Magnificent for Benzema.
Surely there is no better striker in the world of football at the moment than Karim Benzema, who gets better and better with age. That's 12 in his last 6 games, plus whatever we've had tonight. Nearly 25 minutes. Well, he's had some hot streaks in his career, but I would venture to say nothing like this one. But here's Mount. Can Chelsea hit back? Conte. And to squeeze it into Havertz, not quite. Well, in one half, the other side of this particular stat, in one half, second half on Saturday and 25 minutes here, Chelsea conceded 6 goals.
Yeah, I mean, you wondered if that home defeat on Saturday was a sign of a deeper malaise or just a blip, a one-off. We'll know a bit more as this season progresses, but I'm up against it here.
Havertz, challenged by Casemiro. Get up, says the referee. Jerome Brissard, fellow French official, is on VAR. Having a look at this.
I think he runs into Casemiro's right leg as much as anything. I think Casemiro, he tries to pull out. It's not a penalty for me.
Havertz might see it differently, but it's what the officials see that matters, and the review is over. Benzema. Casemiro's there again.
Yeah, Chelsea just got to settle down. Time for a bit of composure. There's an awful lot of football to be played before this contest is over.
Using their past European experience, and Real players just slowing it down. Courtois particularly will be loving this. Has had a metal plate removed from a former leg injury that has ruled him out for a few weeks. He would love to be involved in this, but he'd be thrilled with what his current teammates are doing against his former club. so different to the first half of the first leg in Paris in Real Madrid's round of 16 tie.
Yeah, chalk and cheese, isn't it?
Passive to active. Very active.
Almost caught Chelsea by surprise, but it's been the sheer quality of the goals that have cut Chelsea apart.
Christensen, as you rightly say, Alan, there's plenty of time for a tidal change of direction down here by the River Thames. And Militao's recovered from his injury anyway. And now Kroos. Influence from the Bundesliga on both sides of the divide. Along from Militao and James, their nervy Chelsea. It's been a shock to the system. He's not played much football recently.
No, I don't think he was altogether sure where Vinicius was behind him.
Well, at the moment it's raining on the parade of the holders of the Champions League trophy. Edouard Mendy is a goalkeeper of a very positive disposition. He'll do his best to make sure that there's not another header coming in from Benzema. Well, there was a header from Eder. Goalkeeper did stay at home.
Well, those two goals have shaken Chelsea, no question about it. You lose that bit of confidence when you have to defend.
Thiago Silva. Rudiger. What a half an hour for Real Madrid. Well, what a 3-minute spell for Karim Benzema. But the threat had been there before, with Vinicius Junior taking a liking to the opposition that he's facing tonight. And the three at the back has actually given him a chance to really push up, take Reece James back, or isolate Christensen. He's already found him twice. But here's Havertz dropping deep for Chelsea. And now James. Havertz. And deflects through for Courtois.
It's nice football to get to that point.
Overdoing it as he did when he got booked Eder, and he's got no chance of making a similarly desperate challenge, otherwise he'd be off in the position of real promise that Real Madrid find themselves in. Could be under real threat, but here is Rudiger. James. Nice turn. And a cross that had an invitation written all over it, but no one could actually accept that.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky because it was good skill from Reece James. This in a tight spot and a deft little chip into the box.
A little riskily. Alaba.
They've beaten the press there really nicely.
And Carvajal seeing the opportunity to join in through the centre. It's Benzema who takes it on. Modric goes around the outside of Valverde. his chest. Well, it was very nearly number 3. Scraped away at the last. Carvajal continued his run.
Yeah,
cropped up in the middle.
Chelsea looking uncertain every time they're asked to defend at the moment. And that wasn't the most convincing of stops, but just did enough.
Those fans had a close-up view of 2 great Benzema goals, 2 great Real Madrid moves. Maybe more on the horizon. Retrieved by Ferland Mendy. Now they're mixing, slowing the game down when they can, with still providing a threat. Chelsea pressing, but not quite with the same conviction.
No, they're not, are they? Those white shirts are picking passes through the middle of Chelsea.
Valverde, Eder. Now the candidates to play instead of Valverde, the likes of Marco Asensio.
No, I like Valverde though. It was an astute pick from Ancelotti, who mentioned beforehand his ability to get back, help out his defenders and have the energy to get back up the pitch again.
Talking of energy, N'Golo Conte epitomises that quality that Chelsea badly need. With just over 10 minutes to go to half-time. Jorginho. Conte has a crack, but I think Thibaut Courtois, whose career with Chelsea overlapped a couple of years with N'Golo Conte, would not have expected to be troubled too much by the diminutive midfield man. And indeed wasn't.
No. And they like these short goal kicks, they're confident from them.
Yes, just with the element of the wetness underfoot, it just seems a little bit more risky, but they are, as you say, Alan, doing it very confidently. And the only time it went wrong was when Eder ended up getting booked and suspended from the second leg. Almost drawing Chelsea in deliberately, because they've had so much joy playing through the press. And Thomas Tuchel is a very astute coach. Knows that the moment Carlo Ancelotti, the former Chelsea boss, is outmanoeuvring the current Chelsea team. Ancelotti not been able to come because of his COVID issues. It would have been Ancelotti taking the team, but his son Davide, who did step in for his dad in the La Liga game at the weekend. James, Christensen, Jorginho, Rudiger. Certainly numbers forward for Chelsea here. Crossed by Azpilicueta. Eder's header. And Valverde helping out as well. And Chelsea have to start again.
Yeah, they've had plenty of the ball in Real Madrid's half, but you can't say Courtois has been overworked in this first half.
Have scored 98 goals in all competitions this season, Chelsea. James. And Conte final touch, not him. Thoughtful ball. Corner for Chelsea, Mason Mount to take it. Home side badly needing to get a header on this one, and scoring header. Thiago Silva is capable of doing that. He's got 3 goals already this season in the Premier League.
Yeah, had to stoop for this one. Not the easiest chance.
Now in a situation, Chelsea, where the next goal, they have to get it, really. I mean, they played very well in the leg in the semi-final in the Spanish capital. It wasn't played at the Bernabeu because of the reconstruction that's been going on there. Played in the much smaller Di Stefano Stadium with no fans, but they outplayed Madrid. It finished 1-1, but they certainly are capable, perhaps in an away leg, of producing the sort of performance that Real Madrid are doing in their away leg here. A long way to go. Thiago Silva. Jorginho, challenged by Kroos. Christensen. James. Jorginho, it's a clever ball for Chelsea strike. Kai Havertz, with his history of significant goals for this club, this is an important one here.
Similar move, really. Really good ball into the box by Jorginho. And he times his run perfectly, Havertz. He's done so well in this centre-forward position for Chelsea over recent months. And another headed goal on the night. And a big one for Chelsea to lift some heads. They needed lifting, I think, just before half-time.
Nearly got a boot in the face from Dani Carvajal, who was desperately trying to reach a ball. He knew that the chances were that it was going to go behind him and that Havertz was waiting, and Havertz made the most of the chance. Certainly 40 minutes worthy of this stage of this great competition. It's all about the headers, Alan.
It is. Who said they were going out of fashion? But yeah, I think he knew there was every chance he was going to get a boot in the face. So he kept his eye on the ball and made sure he didn't shirk away from it.
Well, the crowd have found their voices, and the team have found the back of the net. So that's goal 99 for the season for Chelsea. You can imagine if they get to the 100 before half-time, there'd be bedlam at the bridge. Not because of the rounding up of the numbers, but because it would be getting the scores level again. But it could be going... Oh, Benzema's got... Oh, he's missed it! Which is such a shock. And that could have been the 2-goal advantage restored, and a hat-trick in a half, as he did in the second half against PSG.
More brilliant play from Luka Modric. Who's that? Pulisic, is it? Trying to help out defensively. No, sorry, Jorginho. Making things worse, really. This maybe was the easiest of his 3 chances. Outside of the goal, gaping.
Not only the easiness of the chance, but the timing of the moment, Alan. So soon after Chelsea had scored, could have got the momentum back with the team from Madrid. But what a supremely entertaining first half it's been here in southwest London. Alaba. Long from Eder Militao, and a nice defending without needing away the ball from Thiago Silva. Jorginho. Christensen. Laid off by Pulisic on from Jorginho to Rudiger. And out by Mendy. Casemiro. Attack. Does look the best form of defence for Real Madrid. Chelsea certainly open. 2 minutes left in a really vivid first 45. James. Havertz trying to bend it, see what was in his mind.
Changed his half-time team talk slightly. He didn't celebrate much, did he, when Havertz headed it in?
Calling on better support from the crowd. He felt that the attendance, which was limited to season ticket holders for the Premier League game here on Saturday, was reflecting the uncertainty generally around the club. Alaba seizing the ball and the initiative. Benzema trying to get it through for Alaba again. Chelsea, with weight of numbers, stop that happening and now look to counter-attack with James. Well, you said right at the start that you thought it was a very difficult tie to call, not much in it, and as Chelsea improve here and maybe have rattled the Real Madrid cage with that one goal back, it's reflecting the parity really between the two.
Yeah. And the lack of away goals counting now, it does change the complexion of these two-legged ties.
Mount pressing Casemiro, but not fouling him. I think the referee's done very well, Clement Turpin, allowing the game to flow. And to be fair, the players are making it flow too, because attacking ambitions on both sides of the divide here. Dani Carvajal, Valverde will keep it in and drive down that far touchline. Trying to pick out Benzema. Well, just a few seconds left before the half-time whistle, and it's a half you really don't want to end.
I hope the second half continues at this pace.
Well, Real Madrid, with their wonderful reputation in this elite European competition, and a striker in wonderful form,
Dan juga counter cepat seperti yang dilakukan di babak pertama tadi antara Vinicius dan juga Benzema mencuri kesempatan setiap kali ada momentum walaupun hanya 1-2 pemain saja di lini depan. Ketika.
Oke, nampaknya kita akan langsung menuju ke babak kedua, Panji, dan langsung saja champion kita akan menyaksikan babak kedua antara Chelsea melawan Real Madrid. Selamat menyaksikan, enjoy the game.
At the press conference yesterday, Ziyech, Kovacic up against his lifelong friend, Luka Modric. Christensen is withdrawn and hasn't played much this season, and N'Golo Conte as well. Not recently, Christensen. It looks like, Alan, it might be to a back four.
Yeah, looks like that. Yeah, having lost one centre half, back to the formation they've used in the last couple of Premier League games.
So Real Madrid, who are really sitting pretty at 2-0, and now it's 2-1. Bit of win with the Havertz goal. Here's Ziyech, the Moroccan. So even getting one goal back wasn't enough for him to settle on what he'd seen in the first half generally. Jorginho. Kovacic, of course, a former player of Real Madrid. Oh, and Mendy, what's he done here? He's given Karim Benzema the gift of a hat-trick in the opening seconds of the second half. Well, he's good enough to have to work for goals, but when you give him a chance like that, it's total chaos, and that could be the determining factor when we finish the second leg next Tuesday. What a mess. He cannot believe what he's seen, Thomas Tuchel.
No. His goalkeeper on Saturday, early on, looked jittery. With the ball at his feet, he made a mistake against Brentford. And here, again, doesn't look confident. That's not been the story for most of his Chelsea career since arriving, but does not get nearly enough on the ball trying to find Rudiger. Seconds into the second half, talk about a gift. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. It's the last man you want to be presenting the ball to.
Absolutely gift wrap for Karim Benzema, who just here when the ball fell had to line up a putt really, and did the job. And Mendy reflects on a moment of madness. Another hat-trick in the Champions League for Karim Benzema. And here we are, 3-1, 3 to Real Madrid, 3 to Benzema. And the impetus of Havertz's goal dissipated. The impetus maybe of the change to the different defensive shape, bringing on 2 fresh players. At a moment of madness like that just reduces the effect significantly.
I just wonder, Rudiger, it was a bit of a hospital pass, but I thought he could have done a little bit better than trying to nudge it back to the keeper, it looked like, and Benzema was able to get a foot in. He wasn't expecting that.
His expression doesn't change. The eyebrow raised this time for surprise at the nature of the goal, but not the man who scored it. And those Real Madrid fans are delirious.
Well, he would have warned his Real Madrid players about a Chelsea resurgence, especially when he sees the 2 substitutes. Next 10 minutes, let's hold firm, lads. But with that goal, they've taken the wind out of Chelsea's sails, haven't they, big time?
And here's James, and he's caught in possession. Mendy, Casemiro, Benzema, very tidily done to assist others this time. Vinicius Junior back to Karim Benzema again, back to Vinicius, who lets it run. Wonderful play from the La Liga leaders. if their confidence had any way been damaged by Habas's goal, it's certainly back at 100% now. And Chelsea, which again from the neutral perspective is very promising, have to roll up their sleeves and do what they can in the 40 minutes that remain here. Jorginho, Havertz comes out to Azpilicueta. What a wonderful save. Thibaut Courtois is a tall man with a long reach, nearly do all of it there.
That's incredible. It really is. This was ending up right in the very top corner, this.
It is a corner, thanks to the big Belgian, who uses his height to make a comfortable catch as well, or make it look comfortable.
Well, he's about 6'7", isn't he? And he needed every inch here to get across and stretch out an arm.
Spectacular. Dani Carvajal.
Chelsea, I don't think, can afford to go to the Bernabeu 2 goals down. 1 goal, and they're in with a shout. 2, maybe just too much. That.
Valverde. Azpilicueta, of course, is a Spanish international, played for Osasuna in Spain, then played in France before he came to Chelsea. But he's an absolute stalwart of the club he now captains, over 450 appearances. And very nearly breathtaking goal. Here's Mount, Jorginho, James, Mount. Kovacic won't get that. He made enough of a challenge to stop Valverde breaking. Casemiro. Over eagerness from Mount.
Well, I wondered if the pace of the game would continue in this second half, and now Real Madrid have got the third. It's got to continue that pace from Chelsea's point of view, because they've got to go chasing it.
Here's Casemiro. Gross. Need a bit of help from Alaba. Courtois, I'm sure, absolutely determined not to fall into the same trap.
Ancelotti's done his knee.
Yeah, he's certainly in pain. The game goes on. Physical pain, but mental pleasure with the way his team are playing. But maybe not from this, because here's Ziyech. Benzema again playing his part from deep. Couldn't thread it through to Vinicius Junior. Here's Kovacic, who has a couple of winners' medals in this competition with Real Madrid, but he didn't get on the pitch. He was unused substitute in the victories in 2017 and 2018. And left for Stamford Bridge. They are true brethren together in every aspect of their lives, apart from an evening like this, Modric and Kovacic. Here's Pulisic, blocked by Dani Carvajal. Corner for Chelsea. High fives for the defender.
It looked such a threat from these corners, as they quite often do. Chelsea, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, the main threat, you'd imagine.
Taken in towards those you mentioned. Headed up by Pulisic and then snatched by Courtois. Two Premier League titles for Courtois with Chelsea, 1 FA Cup and 1 League Cup. Over 150 50 appearances, but as we mentioned at the start, a slightly bitter departure. It didn't go down too well with the Chelsea fans who are having their say, but so too is Courtois, beaten once, but goodness me, wonderful saves. Here's Vinicius Junior. Benzema fell on Mendy. Valverde going in. Nice take by Jorginho. Well, the tempo has certainly been sustained in these opening 10 minutes of the second half, and I guess the fact that there was a goal in the first few seconds of the second half is partly responsible for that. Kroos. Here's Alaba, the Austrian. No World Cup for him. He went out in the playoff to Wales. The 2 goals from a man sitting on the Real Madrid bench tonight, Gareth Bale. Here's Mount. Ziyech. In towards Havertz. Well, marshalled by Eder Militao.
Yeah, look it was. But those defenders celebrating every block and clearance. Might be a night for Lukaku if it carries on like this.
Well, this side have a significant record in shutouts. Almost half their games this season they've kept clean sheets. But now, after a 4-1 home defeat in the Premier League on Saturday, they're trailing 3-1 in the Champions League on their own patch again. Valverde has lived up to what Carlo Ancelotti was saying before the game about his energy, but also his defensive qualities as well. Need to defend here as Mount carries the fight forward for Chelsea. He's not going to get that.
No.
Thomas Tuchel has spoken out. The Premier League have changed the rules to 5 substitutes per game from 3 for next season. It hasn't gone down well with all the clubs, but Tuchel thinks it's a good thing. He's going to perhaps have to use all of his 5 here, which is being permitted in the Champions League. Try and get maybe a formation, a blend to make some inroads into the very strong position that Real Madrid have built for themselves so far. Still more than half an hour to go, though.
Yeah, I mean, it has been played at such a pace that subs last 15 minutes or so could be really important in this duel.
Rudiger. Thiago Silva. Kovacic. Now Havertz pulls deep and pulls defenders out of position by doing so. Jorginho almost stolen by Vinicius Junior, but Rudiger. Kovacic. Pulisic able to turn, or half turn anyway. Rudiger. Now James, who might be running a bit on empty soon, because Thomas Tuchel said before the game that he might have an hour in him. Came on as a substitute also against Brentford. Here's Pulisic for Havertz, just a touch that took him wide. Stays on his feet, stays with the ball. Pulisic. And then Eder Militao who's wincing a bit at the end of that effort, but he managed to help Real Madrid shut up shop.
Yeah, bit of a waste, wasn't it, after such good work from Havertz? Keep the move going.
Yeah, he was wincing. He was injured in the first half.
Well, if he does go off, that might just persuade Thomas Tuchel to put on Romelu Lukaku. Somebody that can back into the centre half, somebody that can't compete physically. Militao will always have a go in that direction.
Well, they're concerned about their centre-back, Thierry Henry, with the potential buyer of Arsenal.
Antonio Conte there as well.
Yeah.
Having a look, but they've not been shortchanged for the price of the admission if they paid for the ticket.
But you said Lukaku will be summoned, whether this injury has provoked it or just the situation in the game, probably both. You're looking at maybe Nacho or going down the list of potential defenders. Jesus Vallejo, who's a Spanish under-23 international. They spell in English football a very short one with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Maybe they will rebuild Eder Militao. An hour gone, what an hour for football lovers. The Champions League rarely disappoints. And the potential here for much, much more to come in the last half an hour. Valverde. Now Modric. Dani Carvajal. Modric, square passes can be risky, but not when he plays them. Alaba. Mendy. Keeping the ball and his balance. An excellent run from the left back.
Oh, he's enjoying this.
Modric. Trying to get some control back in their possession. Real Madrid and Chelsea having to do a fair bit of chasing. Casemiro looking around to see what's happening with Eder Militao. And that's too long for the man of the moment. He's got himself back on, the Brazilian centre-back.
Yeah, if Lukaku comes on, it'd be wise to move over to Militao's side, back into him.
Chelsea fans in that far corner wanting a free kick. It was right in front of the assistant who kept his flag down. Didn't involve the referee with any communications. Casemiro, Kroos, James needed to be with Vinicius Junior around. 2-1 at half-time, 3-1 seconds into the second half. Still going Real Madrid's way here at Stamford Bridge this evening, with revenge in the air for what happened in the semi-final last season. And the holders have a bit of work to do. So it is going to be Nacho. And also it's going to be Ruben Loftus-Cheek for Jorginho first. Lukaku is waiting to be introduced as well. Loftus-Cheek has been in the team recently. Pulisic gives way to Lukaku. Been scoring in cup games, but he's not scored in the Premier League in 2022, but hasn't always had that much opportunity.
Now would be the time to get out of his dry spell, his unhappy spell at Chelsea.
Nacho, who's a dependable man. He's more left-sided. It'll be interesting to see how that works with Alaba, who's also left-sided. So, Lukaku and Loftus-Cheek. Carvajal played for that, but got it. Maybe got a bit more than he bargained for in the collision with Mount.
Yeah, I think we'll see plenty of this in the last 25.
Casemiro using the damp on the surface to slide through it. Rained as heavily in the second half. Benzema, that's an awkward one for the recently arrived Nacho, but he sorted it out. Thiago Silva. 25 minutes to go. Chelsea trying to rev up a storming finale to this game. Challenged by Kroos. Dani Carvajal. It's beautifully played by Casemiro to the on-rushing Valverde.
Well, good job he's done, Valverde. Not that right-hand side.
There he is again. Benzema. Dani Carvajal, you remember, had a chance in the first half, coming through the middle, the right back.
It's a scrap in there, isn't it?
Well, there's a lot at stake. Havertz having to come back and defend. Mendy going to make it difficult for him, but that'll be a free kick to Chelsea.
Yeah, he's been given the number 10 role now, Havertz, just behind Lukaku.
He's on a good run of form. That's 7 goals now with his first half header in his last 10 games for Chelsea. There's the tussle that sums up the importance of the evening. 2 old pros going at it hammer and tongs. Ziyech. Now Rudiger. Loftus-Cheek. Chelsea fans trying to play their part as James crosses, and Lukaku gives the thumbs up to the delivery, but couldn't do enough with it.
Yeah, I think Nacho just got across him. If he'd have made a bit more of a movement across his man, he might have got a cleaner header than that.
Well, he got there.
No, he did get there. I thought Nacho got a piece of it. Mistimed it.
Loftus-Cheek. And again, Thomas Tuchel didn't have a lot of success with his substitutions on Saturday. And he's shuffled the pack here. James. Rudiger, who scored from distance against Brentford. Loftus-Cheek. Deflected to Lukaku, put it wide. Azpilicueta with a deflected cross. It looped up seemingly invitingly for Romelu Lukaku.
You feel for him because he's in the kind of spell where these are not easy chances. I mean, Benzema has made them look simple tonight, but for somebody who isn't on the goal trail, that feels incredibly difficult.
Chelsea twice winners of the Champions League, 10 years ago and 1 year ago. Mount! Oh, brilliant effort. Saw the possibility, very nearly executed it to perfection. Just too high.
We've seen some efforts on goal tonight, and you wouldn't have been surprised to see this one end up in the top right-hand corner. You've got to go some to beat Courtois. Kind of form he's in. Well, they're having a good go at it, Chelsea.
Headed by Azpilicueta. Casemiro, Chelsea all over him though. It's taken up by Havertz. He uses Mount and Azpilicueta as decoys. Here's James. Breaks to the edge. Floats it in there, lining up at the back post. And a desperate air to the defending from the Spanish club. Benzema wanted a handball, not given. Lost his cheek, blocked by Casemiro. It's stuck for him as well. And they can't get out. Real Madrid at the moment. Sustained pressure from the home team at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, talk about stepping up the pace of their attacks, Chelsea. Throwing everything at it. Real Madrid are defended ever so well tonight, but this last 20 minutes could be their biggest test.
Havertz. Arms down by the side for Dani Carvajal to make sure there was absolutely no risk of handball. Ziyech again to take the corner. They are, of the Premier League teams, one of the best at converting these kind of situations. And they've got Lukaku in there to add aerial power. Took him by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, no wonder he was surprised. It's come through about 3 or 4 players. Him and Havertz getting in each other's way.
Yeah, off Thiago Silva's knee. And respite for Real Madrid. Chelsea, incidentally, have won all their home games in this season's Champions League. 4 of them and not conceded a goal. Now they have, in game 5, conceded 3, and
he's not happy.
Close to being 4. He's not happy at all, Edouard Mendy. He was not used being on the receiving end as he has been on Saturday and today. The defence in front of him has given him the belief to be really a very successful signing. Was something that was seen as a problem position for Chelsea, and I'm sure Mendy will have many better nights than this one. Benzema trying to get it through to Dani Carvajal. Nicely done by James. Chelsea, the fans calling for the ball to get forward, but it'll be a measured approach here from Azpilicueta and Havertz. And now Kovacic against his old club, remember. Here he is again. Azpilicueta. Kovacic. That's asking too much of James, who has gone further than Thomas Tuchel suggested he might in terms of minutes on the pitch.
Well, I had them down as 2 evenly matched sides, but the difference tonight has been the centre forward for Real Madrid.
Toni Kroos finding the going getting a bit tougher against the re-energised Chelsea midfield with the substitutions, and they look now to 19-year-old Eduardo Camavinga, born in Angola, former refugee, a really interesting backstory. Now international with France. He's been with the under-21s in the last international break, scored a goal for his adopted country. I don't think Ziyech was saying too much, but he was giving it a bit of a look, a bit of a stare in the direction of Vinicius Junior. It's a very brave header. There was one that was a very poor clearance, and Dani Carvajal against Azpilicueta had to go for it.
Yeah, Azpilicueta wasn't going to pull out either.
No.
It's been that kind of match. Carvajal will make the most of this.
And Azpilicueta will at least be able to converse with all the opposition involved.
There's nothing too serious going on there.
No. Seriousness is in running down the clock. Well, he was caught out on the Chelsea goal. Another who's 30 years old now, another proven winner in this competition. Like so many of them, have their badges of honour in the Champions League, their winners' medals. Of course, that goes for Chelsea, but that was a wonderful success against fellow English club Manchester City, of course, last season. It's not quite a dynasty in Europe, as Real Madrid can claim. Marcos Alonso is one of the Chelsea substitutes tonight who hasn't got on yet. And he was born in Madrid, and his grandfather, Marquitos, was part of the Real Madrid side in the 1950s that won the first 5 stagings of this competition and really set the agenda. So we always say about Real Madrid, their glory in those early years when not everyone was smitten with the idea of European club football, and they really made it happen. Dani Carvajal, a little tentative, nothing tentative about Valverde.
Never stops.
Looks like a man with 0 body fat, built to run, but he can play as well.
They've got so much experience, Real Madrid, handling these kind of situations. They're doing it pretty well at the moment. Having said that, Chelsea have created a couple of good chances for Lukaku. I'm sure Thomas Tuchel will look back on those if the score stays the same as this.
Nacho, Dani Carvajal, Valverde, great play by Real Madrid again. Nacho drives on. Oh, it was behind Valverde. I think they may be trying to involve Benzema. Why wouldn't you? Ziyech. Still feel there's time for a twist or turn before the final whistle here. Azpilicueta. Chelsea trying to make sure the twist and turn is to their advantage. Kovacic. Here's Havertz. Loftus-Cheek, patient from Tuchel's team. Loftus-Cheek again, Kovacic. Havertz getting within range, but not beyond Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, such a tight spot. It was a little stab of an effort. He's just trying to float one up into that corner. Never quite got the angle, but he's played well tonight, Havertz.
Chelsea's share of possession is certainly not in the dominating category.
I mean, they haven't done too much wrong, Martin, have they? They've been the victim of some fantastic assists and finishes.
And a mistake by one of their own.
Yeah.
Or maybe two of their own, as you rightly pointed out, Alan, that Rudiger could have done a bit better. James. Kovacic into Havertz. But the way Chelsea build up, you have a little bit of sympathy for Romelu Lukaku, who would probably like some earlier deliveries into the penalty area. They can have fighting balls against the centre-halves that he might be able to get the drop on. James. Now Ziyech. Again, it's played across the edge of the penalty area to Havertz. Now Mount. Mason Mount's done well, blocked by Nacho.
Yeah, superb footwork from Mason Mount, and when it came to the strike, he was just on the stretch.
Into the last 10 minutes of Stamford Bridge. Thiago Silva. And the holders still looking for the kind of inspiration that might give them a better view of the second leg next Tuesday, remember. Quite happy to kick it out to play at the other end in the quest to get Vinicius Junior. Well, there's not a rare sight in this country, but a rare sight in Real Madrid's colours. Gareth Bale, who learned his trade with Southampton, of course had a supremely successful spell in the end with Spurs, and then going on to even greater things, much greater things you might say, with Real Madrid. But his recent dealings with the Spanish media haven't been very savoury. After his 2 goals against Austria, he's sending messages back from South Wales to the Iberian Peninsula. Benzema. Modric. Vinicius Junior. Chelsea cannot afford to concede another one in their efforts to score another one. Calmly done by Courtois. Nacho probably have to play in that position in the second leg with Eder Militao suspended. Kovacic. Now Loftus-Cheek. Ancelotti's side still working so hard when they don't have the ball. And they'll need to continue that right to the final whistle if they're going to protect this really promising position from the away leg.
Yeah, if Chelsea can pull it back to 3-2, they'll go to Madrid with plenty of heart, feeling they can do the job.
Loftus-Cheek. James to strike one, parried out by Courtois, but not towards his Belgian colleague Romelu Lukaku. Reece James
Courtois doesn't know where he's parrying this, but in the event it doesn't go to Chelsea's centre forward.
Valverde more concentrating on the man than the ball. The man being Kovacic. Chelsea need to maintain their belief here, and Havertz is certainly one to do that. Thought he was caught, but the referee didn't. Valverde to work with Nacho. Valverde finally looks as though he's got a bit of fatigue, maybe an injury as well. Again, it might be a manoeuvre to break up the play. Now it has done.
he's handled this match well, the referee. Let it flow, let some challenges go, allowed it to be a physical contest.
You wouldn't bet against it with the Reece James to put it into the mix, but it goes to another tall Belgian, Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, fine tempers in there. There was nothing much happening, bit of pushing and shoving.
Casemiro believes he's got the culprit earmarked. Finger of suspicion. Well, that was Rudiger.
I think he blew on him.
Nacho not impressed, but some of that also will add on a few extra seconds. Chelsea, who were hoping to whip up a storm after they went 3-1 down, have had possibilities in the second half, but no fruits for their labours as yet. Still time, and as Alan rightly says, if even to get one goal back, and after a chastening evening, they might be able to chase down the second leg. 3-1, it looks a daunting task.
Yeah, it'll be difficult to not see Real Madrid score at home.
Mount still probing, but the harder you try, sometimes the worse it becomes.
They don't change the style though, Martin. You touched on it earlier. When Lukaku comes on the pitch, they keep on with that intricate attacking play, and he has to wait, doesn't he? And it doesn't suit him.
No, I think he would be entitled, but maybe he feels his form doesn't justify it to say, look, if you're going to get the best out of me, do what all strikers really want, get the ball in early, as Benzema's profited twice from that tonight. And look at his imprint on the evening. And it's that one after 46 minutes, the first few seconds of the second half, that has caused Chelsea such grief. But here goes Ziyech. Cleared by Alaba, but not very far. Collected by Loftus-Cheek in the 90th minute at Stamford Bridge.
They've done well to defend their edge of the box, Real Madrid, and Chelsea have found it difficult to get the bodies in with the ball at the feet and attract a foul and maybe win a penalty.
In by Rudiger, but again, not quite for Romelu Lukaku. But the damage was done before he came on, and every repelled attack is being greeted as if a goal had been scored at the other end by the Real Madrid boys at the back. 5 minutes though, a lot can happen in 5 minutes, particularly in a Champions League game. It was a clash of heads. It was a genuine attempt to get the ball by Nacho, but he got the man.
And Havertz was always favourite here.
Yeah, taller than Nacho, and the ball was dropping more his way. I think it was in there as well. Well, the questions will be asked, Alan, not just about the performance, but about the state of Chelsea as a football club, the Abramovich situation, the potential takeovers.
Well, players are bound to talk in the dressing room. Those that are out of contract, Rudiger, Christensen will be saying, well, I don't feel, perhaps they'll be saying, I don't feel secure signing another contract here. You know, the mood changes, and that can transmit to the pitch.
Loftus-Cheek to give a sting in the tail. Here's Aspilicueta. Loftus-Cheek again. He's been more used by Thomas Tuchel recently. James Havertz in towards Mount. Kovacic is there. Lukaku is there. Oh, and it's just flashed wide by Ziyech.
Well, on that left foot of his, he'd have fancied him to keep this one down, control it a little better than this. It's a really good chance.
Yeah, but they've come up against the man with the golden touch in front of goal, Karim Benzema. And the surprise is that he wasted a very easy opportunity in the latter stages of the first half. He's now got 70 Champions League goals for Real Madrid, and 6 of them in the last 2 games. Sorry.
That first headed goal is one of the best headers you'll see this season. It's a stunning effort.
And the second wasn't far behind, not just in terms of time, but in terms of quality. Modric. Dani Ceballos. 90 seconds left. Mendy. Loftus-Cheek. Thiago Silva. And James is going the distance here as a compliment to his fitness, young man, of course. He's been on the outside looking in, been on the treatment table recently. Here's Ziyech, that's a good early cross. That's the kind of early cross that Lukaku really should be looking for.
Blue shirt had to get there first.
Modric knocked out by Camavinga. Here is Dani Carvajal again, cropping up in midfield and doing the job. Sterling work from him. Ceballos. There's a foul on the first place on Vinicius Junior.
Well, it's been a proper cup tie, all right.
And he's in the headlines. When you're in a run of form like he's in, you want to play every day.